is that it's like, you know, we've done things that benefited you a whole lot more than they've benefited us, and so we would really appreciate the return favor, right? Because we all are kind of brought down by systems of oppression. But I agree with you that we should be at the forefront of our own fight. It does bug me when we're talking about trans issues and there's not a single trans face or voice to be heard. So I totally agree with you on that one. Shifting away from, you know, briefly, shifting away from how this may affect the trans or the LGBTQ community, as far as their reaction, my wonder from both of you, because, you know, I've seen a little bit of this in my 34 years on this earth, but not a ton, and so I'm wondering what you guys think, that sometimes when we have massive wins, like marriage equality, especially if things are happening a whole lot very quickly. Like, Jessica, to your point, we had marriage equality, and then we had Caitlyn Jenner, and we've got Laverne Cox and Janet Mock saying some really great things. And then, of course, you've got someone like John Oliver on This Week Tonight making a wonderful, you know, argument for why trans people are human beings, right? And how it's none of your business, or whatever the case may be, which, you know, was partially crafted by Mara Kiesling and NCTE and things like that. My wonder is, because this occasionally happens, is that when things change so far and so fast, not in our eyes, because we've been waiting for it for so long, but in the eyes of the right, the anti-equality folks, does it create a backlash? Does it result in people going, this is just too much, and it creates a increase? Does that increase in visibility and increase in rights in what they see as too much, too fast? Does it make the backlash of hatred or anti-trans sentiment higher, or is that just kind of anecdotal and it's not really true, and all of this really leads into, you know, all a positive place? Is it still, you know, as, you know, Martin Luther King said, the arc of the, you know, of history is long, but it bends towards justice. So I'd like to hear each of you, you know, what you kind of feel about that, or if that's not even a thing that you think about.
I'll let Christian go first on this one. He's been such a gentleman and let the lady go first, so I'll let him go first. That's fine.
I mean, I don't know. Will you rephrase a little bit? I think
sure.
I guess, yeah. Just rephrase for me.
So basically, just the fact that we've had what people not in the LGBT community, like cis straight people, some of those people are saying this is too much, too fast, and
right.
Should we be concerned about a backlash, an increase in anti-trans sentiment, an increase in anti-queer sentiment, or is that just anecdotal and it's not really true, that it's all working towards the right way and we don't need to worry about a backlash?
I think, that makes sense. I think, we should be concerned, to be quite frank. I do think that, you know, with any advancement, I mean, it's historical, right? With any advancement in, you know, civil rights, or with, you know, any kind of, you know, oppressed group and advance in inequality or enfranchisement, there's always some kind of backlash. You know, I don't know that I would go as far to say that, you know, there might be like a rampant surge in, you know, violence in the workplace or extra, you know, violence in all sorts of different ways, or physical or whatever. But I think that there's certainly, and already is happening, right? Like conversations about, you know, not even just, you know, is it too much, but like it's conversations about, well, no, like, you know, that, you know, Caitlyn Jenner is not a woman. Caitlyn Jenner is, you know, Bruce Jenner and all this stuff. And it's sort of like,
right.
I mean, those are just conversations I think all of us, even just navigating the world, have heard in, you know, in passing at this point. And so, you know, there's something to be said about that sort of advancement that's pretty amazing that people are, whether, in my opinion, whether positive or negative, it's incredible that people are having a conversation about trans people.
Right.
And I sometimes, you know, I'll catch myself, and I was actually out at a bar a couple months ago at an LGBT conference, out in Detroit, the Allied Media Conference, and I was out there, and a few friends of mine went to the bar to get some drinks, and then, we just happened, of course, after a long day of, of natural trans processing and, heightened politics and check-in spaces, we're exhausted and all we wanted to drink.
Right.
Of course, we just sit right next to the people that are having a very heated debate about whether or not Caitlyn Jenner is truly a woman. And we sort of, we just started laughing because we were sort of like, well, they didn't realize that they were sitting next to three trans people. And
right.
Then they also, it was just so hilarious to us because we were like, well, it's neither here nor there. Like, I couldn't bring myself, one of my friends was like pretty like worked up about it. I was like, should we say something? Should we not say something? And I'm like, it's just like incredible that this is happening. And the natural reaction for people to like sort through this stuff is the reason that trans people are so amazing, in my opinion, that like if trans people start coming out, all these other people are going to have to start, thinking about their gender and how it relates to the world and how they're presenting and how they're performing. And it's like, that's fucking cool. That's just really cool. So I think that there is a backlash, but I don't know that there's one that I'm like, everybody like get a security system and like a buddy system and like let's, I don't think it's that serious, but I do think.
So you're not going to full on doomsday prepper.
No. Well, get out of the bomb shelter.
I gotta say that I was kind of questioning the whole thing about are celebrities good for us in a sense of speaking, because celebrities obviously have money. They don't show the authenticity of what struggles we really go through. But I think that the way that Caitlyn did it really made the world see exactly what every transgender family sees. Somebody that transitions in family, because they once knew this person for their whole entire life as this person. Now they come out and they're this person. But they don't realize that, okay, it's the same person, but,
right.
It's just something that we've been dealing with. We've been hiding because it was so taboo. And so to go backwards on what you were saying about backlash, everything moving so fast, with the marriage equality, Caitlyn Jenner, just everything that's going on, that people can tend to get overwhelmed, especially like you said, the anti-LGBT or anti-equality or anything like that. Anybody that's against the LGBT could feel that all this is being thrown down their throat. The show Becoming Us was about two transgender parents. Then you have Jazz's show that just came out, which I Am Jazz. So there's all this stuff coming out, and it's coming out so fast, and it's all coming down like Kristen said earlier, like the domino effect. So it's like boom, 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 and everything's being thrown at them. So it's like all of a sudden, wow, and some people may perceive this as, oh, they're just trying to stuff their agenda down our throat, when that's not the fact. But, we do exist. So, there's very talented people in the LGBT community. And, there's very many people that deserve to be on that forefront and showing the world exactly who we are and that we do exist and what we go through. And I just think the way that things went through with Caitlyn kind of showed the world exactly, because they always knew her as, Bruce Jenner, the Olympian gold medalist, and, coming out as, Caitlyn was like, whoa, okay, that we didn't see that coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that I do want to clarify that I personally don't see that it's happening that fast. I feel like we as a community have been waiting for a long time for this to happen. But to your point, to both of your points, it is a domino to where the speed is increasing, right? But it's not like, oh, trans people are new. Trans people, obviously, as we all know, are nothing new. So
go all the way back to Stonewall.
Even further, yeah. So I think that I think as this always happens, I could talk about this probably for the remainder of tonight and on into like the rest of the week. but unfortunately we have to wrap up. And so I do want to thank you, but before we kind of close, I really would like to give each one of you a chance to kind of plug whatever's next on your horizon, or whatever organization that you would like to plug. And so, Jessica, if you want to jump in and do a quick plug, we only got a couple of minutes, but if you want to do a quick plug for whatever is on your mind or on your heart tonight.
Okay. Well, I have recently started a project that I'm working on with upcoming shows called Trans-Life Radio, and everybody can find more information on that at transliferadio.com. And basically, we're making the website kind of a resource and allowing, there's a lot of Facebook groups out there. If you have a Facebook group, free advertisement on our website so that we can link to trans people that are considering transition or are looking for information. There's a lot of places out there to find it, but we also want to add to our website that listing of groups. And, even if it's not an online group or support group or social group, we want to list that as well so that people have this information and it's easy to find. And the shows will be pretty good too.
What's an email where folks can get in touch with you?
As far, you can find
Radio.
Oh, for Trans-Life Radio, yeah, transliferadio.com, or there's email addresses on there. My personal email address is jessica@transliferadio.com.
Great.
I forgot the .com.
I think that we all everybody get the .com on occasion.
Yeah, I know. But everybody, and anybody that wants to get in touch with me, or if you're interested in advertising a group or organization or business that's LGBT, again, we'll list you on there for free.
Great. Thank you. Crispin, you're up. Plugs. What's on your horizon? What's next?
So the only thing, I'll plug two things real quick. So of course, if anyone is interested in receiving more information about Land Illegal's Trans Rights Project, we actually have a newer online publication and then also a hard copy publication, if you can request it for free online if you prefer that. A trans toolkit, then that actually covers all sorts of different areas of trans life that you might have legal questions or legal-related questions about. So, there's one for identity documents, there's one for workplace rights, there's one for immigration, there's one for families and marriage and all these things. So if you're interested in that, you can just go to landillegal.org/trans-toolkit. And you can get everything on there. It's really vast and very useful. So for trans folks and for advocates. So if you're listening out there and want more resources, that's a great one. And then the other thing is just for folks local to the Chicago or Midwest area. I'm actually helping co-organize the second annual Trans Pride Beach Party that we have here in Chicago, and we had our inaugural one last year, and this year we're having another one on August 30th on the beachfront here in Chicago, and it's just a day where we all go to the beach that is notoriously sort of the gay man's beach, and we go folks up, and we showed up last year about 200 strong, and it was a really, really incredible thing to see 200 trans people in bathing suits and pushing around beach balls and having a great time, like right next to what is traditionally like a white gay man's kind of only zone. And so it was really powerful. So this year we actually have 600 people plus RSVP'd on our Facebook page. So we're hoping to get more folks out there. So if you're in the area, please come join us. If you're free, then consider coming out to Chicago to join us for it. It's going to be probably a sight to see. So put that on your calendar.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Chris.
I want to go.
I know, right? If I could only afford the flight, let's do that. Check out.
Where's the set again?
Chicago.
Chicago, okay.
Yeah, if you go to, it's not being organizationally sponsored or institutionally sponsored, but it's really just a community-based effort, and, there's no sponsors or anything like that, so If you just go to the Facebook page,